It bends back so far, and I would like sit all the like lean all the way back.
Yeah.
You can hardly go back on this thing without like taking the entire chair with you.
These things, like when you start to lean backwards, it's like, okay.
Yeah, legit. Like my feet
going.
are off the ground. I am going to fall over.
Like it's
No
too
stability.
easy to be like, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's
Legit.
for audio only listeners. That must be very fun. Just know that these are very bouncy chairs.
There's a visual gag going on.
Yeah, visual gag, you're missing out on it.
Imagine Charlie Chaplin. Imagine mime. Imagine clowning. Like that's what we're seeing here. Like add a sound effect, like woo, 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 kind of thing. You know.
And then like some really distorted like Thomas the Tank Engine music in the back.
Yeah. And then like ding dong ding dong, like after
Yes.
falling, you know, like as the whole place like bing bong, right?
Yeah. Do you know, sometimes I think like there's been so many points in my life where I could have taken a very dark turn to a very awful aesthetic, and I feel like something I came so close to getting really into was like steampunk. I don't know why I just remembered it, but
That's I don't think it's
a-
ever really had its moment in the sun, steampunk, yet. I think it's still like it's got such a weird vibe around it.
a very niche group of people. As someone who is in marching band, I feel like marching band attracts people who are into steampunk.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like how I could explain like what steampunk is if somebody doesn't know what steampunk is.
It's like clocks and cogs and
clocks
gears
and,
and copper, brass,
Those
hats.
plane goggles.
Yeah.
And God. Yeah. I feel like
It's an
when I was
aesthetic
in
and a
high
half.
school, it was like kind of creeping into like mainstream aesthetics because of like the general, you know how there was like the grungy side of Tumblr and then the other side of Tumblr was like flower crowns and more like artsy DIY, like distressed paint and things. I was on that side, even though again, wasn't on Tumblr because I was on Pinterest where there were flower crowns. But like in that same genre, there was like weird steampunk elements that were kind of infused into it with like these really papery retro textures and these clouds and these hot air balloons and gears and fun hats and bows and trinkets and such. Like I feel like that is steampunk adjacent. And I feel
It's
like
incredibly trinket heavy.
yes, I think that's what attracts me to it actually. But,
You know Dean Chris Anthony, the musician?
yeah.
He had a steampunk era. I think he's currently going through it.
Fucking way.
Yeah. He had like one of his songs that he released was "I Just Steamed My Punk," and it's like, but he like fully went in on like hashtag steampunk, hashtag like it was always hashtag steampunk.
Oh my God.
And he had like the glasses and he had the hat, and like I kind of got on board with it because I think he's a cool guy. It's like Elliot is a cool guy. Wink.
He's in the club.
He's in the club. He commented on my video once, and I was like, "Thank you," because I was wearing a jumper that he made. But
Because you're dressed in steampunk.
yes, I was wearing the hat with the cogs, and
The clocks
powering a
and-
computer with my cog hat. But yeah, he like was all in because he has all that analog setup for his music anyway.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like tying into that, but I couldn't fully get on board with it. And then I think he kind of stopped, but it was cool a little bit. I can see it being like properly cool in maybe 10 years, maybe 20, 30, 40.
Maybe. What was that? What's it called? It was not, I don't know if it was a musical or if it was a play. It was something with, I think Johnny Depp was in it, but it was like steampunk-esque.
Sweeney Todd?
Sweeney Todd. Okay, that came
Demon
out when I
Barber
was,
of Fleet Street?
yes, that came out when I was in high school. So I think that also played a role in the weird.
That definitely fits in there a little bit, I would say.
Yeah.
I'd say you could do a steampunk, view it with the lens of steampunk. Would you believe, actually,
Yeah.
speaking of Sweeney Todd, I think my show, Graphic Design Live, I've got the footage back. It should be uploaded to the Patreon by the time this episode comes out. I would hope. We shall see. Not gonna lie, watching it back made me want to die because I realized that I blacked out every night doing that show, and watching it back, I'm like, what is he doing? He's just the entire show. And I thought I was doing it much slower, but I'm actually just sprinting from start to finish and then it ends. But it's still worth the watch, but I'm just going to properly, maybe it needs a bit of work. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I want to fix things up. I want to just slow it down. Anyway, Sweeney Font is the name of my design studio that I make in that thing.
That's beautiful. That's incredible.
And there's a lot of talk about Sweeney Font. Yeah. It's really funny.
Was it like an intentional play on Sweeney Todd?
Yeah. Like it's like an homage to the theater days of the character. And then there's a part where I go like, swing your pen tool high, Sweeney. Like it's all, it's very like the graphic designer on King Street. It's a great moment in the script. Oh, it's so good. Guys, I can't wait for you all to see it. It'll be probably both for free and paid members. I will quickly plug the Patreon here for one quick second. Guys,
plug it away.
Thank you. At this point of recording, we're at 99 patrons. We'll probably hit 100 by Monday. Thank you so much. That's epic, triple digits. That's so sick. I will say as well, you can join the Patreon for free. I have turned on a setting that I didn't tell you about, but it offered me this, and it said we will offer your free members discounts to sign up to the Patreon. So if you join for free, you might get like a email or something, be like, do you want like $2 off your first month? So if you want like the opportunity to get that, then feel free to join for free as well. Test the waters, guys. It's cool over there. The last episode was a banger. The Patreon episode we filmed last week was so fucking
It was
good.
actually really. I've seen it twice.
I think it's the best episode we've done. Yeah. I think it's the best episode by a considerable amount. Like, it's so good.
We covered us getting blackout drunk.
Yeah.
And it gets worse from there.
Other things. It's legit. And then I think at like the 40-minute mark of what was meant to be an hour-long episode, we start looking at our first designs. And it's like an hour and a half in the end. And I can't speak for my designs, but the things that I saw from Kel's,
hey, let's
you're
just
seeing
say,
our live reactions on that. It's very good.
I've come a long way.
You have.
I've learned so much about myself,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think in order to be good, you must be very bad.
Yeah.
That's when you learn.
You don't learn from success, everyone.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
You don't learn from success.
Success can be so sporadic and luck based. Mm-hmm. No, how do you get through the times where you're contemplating ending your life? That's where
that's where the life lessons come through. Yeah,
exactly. You must learn to self-reflect.
Oh yeah,
and ask yourself: do I have any good people in my life?
I ask that every time I film this bloody podcast. And the answer.
Exactly. The answer may surprise you.
Yeah. Kill to the enemies.
Hi, friends. Welcome back to this week's episode of Kelliot. My name is Kel.
And my name is Elliot.
Would you believe it?
Dramatic pause. And we are designers who care. Completely in sync. That's
Elliot,
right.
What is your shirt?
Oh, this is a Story MFG shirt.
Okay.
From Story MFG that I got in London. Isn't it cool? It's the pink elephant in the room.
It's very cute.
I guess. I didn't realize it was. That's the first time I've referred to it as the pink elephant. And that is a thing, right? They say the pink elephant. No, it's just the elephant in the room.
I think it's just the elephant.
Maybe some people's.
But then you are Australian,
elephant.
so if like Australians were like, oh, it's the pink elephant in the room.
We adapted it to the pink elephant. We were like, we see elephants all the time. So it would there's always elephants in the room, but there's never a pink elephant in the room.
Are there elephants in Australia?
Oh, yeah. There's always, here in Australia, there's always an elephant in the room because there's always something unsaid. That's the
I can't tell if you're serious. Are there actually elephants?
I don't think there's a single elephant outside of a zoo here.
Okay, I was going to say, that's news to me.
They're too smart for the enclosures. I'll say that.
Yes.
They're in there going, they know. They know.
Happy.
You seen that video of the orangutan, I think, in the enclosure doing the, like, pointing to the hand sanitizer? Never mind. Forget I said it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay,
Great
well,
video.
you can send it to me, and I'll
I want to
digest it.
yeah, I did want to say because I thought this would be funny. I'm just gonna not show a TikTok, but I'm gonna say what the TikTok was that I saw. Katie showed me this on the other day. I think it's one of the best TikToks I've ever seen. It's a combination of the Chapel Roan song Pink Pony Club and John Travolta incorrectly John Travolta's Adele Dazeem moment, if you know that.
I do not.
And it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to go on then. Actually, you know what? That's 2 for 2 fails. I'm actually going to stop myself.
I'm sorry. I'm extremely offline sometimes.
No, it's so fair. It's just, if you know it,
I'm not
it's
on
like
TikTok. I'm having
out. Wicked dreams of Adele Dazeem. It's like, it's really funny.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
No, it's like a long.
No, send it to me. I'll watch it.
In full seriousness, I'm going to stop the recording right now.
Okay.
Just kidding.
That's fine.
No,
John
it's
Travolta.
Fine. It's a great little bit. It's all good. Sorry, if you get it, leave a. So how is? Hey, Kel,
Mm-hmm.
how was your week?
It's been very nice. What did I do this week? I've had like a couple days off this week, which has been so bloody nice.
That's so good.
I don't know the last time I've had more than one day off in a row. And I've worked still every single day, but I haven't had like a pressing deadline that I've had to work on. So that's really delightful. I've been working on a YouTube video, and by the time this comes out, the video will be on my channel.
Oh my god!
So that's very exciting.
Where is it percentage? Like, is it? It's exported. It's done.
It's done. So the thing that I did is that I edited the entire video, and normally Matt edits the videos, but the mistake I made was I thought I could mix audio.
No one can mix audio.
No, so that's the thing. I can't mix
it's the
audio.
Worst.
I can do a lot of things. I cannot mix audio. So, and I thought I figured it out. Nope. I had so many parts that were clipping, and I was just cutting that piece of audio track and then turning the gain down.
I've done that.
Like
I still do that, I think, honestly. Yeah. I don't know. It makes logical sense when you look at the waveform. You go, just turn that
exactly.
one
And I'm
down.
like, oh, and I just got a big, or I just cut the clip out.
Easy.
So, Matt was like, I'm going to take over here. And I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Matt does the kelliot audio, if anyone's wondering as well.
Yeah.
Truly a lifesaver. Because when I was doing the audio for this thing, I was doing something new every week. I don't know what I was just like, let's throw stuff at the wall.
Every time I think I'm like, oh, it can't be that hard. It actually is.
It's another language. It's crazy.
I don't understand how sound works. And also I learned that Premiere's audio editing functions are like ass. So so Matt's fixing the audio. It's pretty much done now. So I just need to re-add the audio back to the video. But it's really weird, and I hope people are mildly interested in it. I don't expect it to do well. Again, setting a very low bar here. Because it was supposed to be a really cool video, and I guess I could talk about it because it'll be out by the time this is out. But it was supposed to be all about cyanotype. And I have like a bit of experience with cyanotype, and I was humbled so fucking hard by this project. And like I did it at my parents' house because they have like a gorgeous house and ample outdoor space where I can do things that need to be done outside because I don't have it here. And I spent like way too much time when I was home when I was supposed to be like relaxing and hanging out with my family, working on this stupid video, because I was so determined to make it work. And every single step of the way, like shit went wrong. And like one of the days when I started filming too late in the day, which is classic me.
That's happening to me today. I have to film something today, and I can already tell it happened yesterday. It's going to happen again. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I started filming too late in the day, and I don't know if you know anything about how cyanotype works. Is it needs UV
Right.
to work?
What is cyanotype? I should ask this now before we get any further.
Okay, no, that's a perfectly fine thing to ask. So cyanotype is essentially like a photochemical reaction where when you mix these two parts together, it's similar to like photo developer. I'm probably not explaining this the most correct way. Don't come for me. I have an art degree. But when these parts mix, they become reactive to light. So when you add that dye to paper or to like fabric, it then, kind of becomes active. And if you put it under UV, it will essentially go through a chemical process and start turning darker. So I think of like those sun shirts that you would get at like the beach, where it's like it was an outline in the tourist gift shop, and then when you go out in the sun, it like fills with color.
Yes.
Really completely different, but think of it like that.
Yeah.
And so you can put like a leaf on this paper, or on like if you put the dye on like a t-shirt and you put a leaf on top of it, and then after a couple minutes you like take the leaf off and you rinse it, and that'll like set it into the shirt. So then you have like an outline of a leaf.
Oh, okay. Sick.
So you've seen cyanotype, but I did my Valley packaging using using a ton of cyanotype, and that whole process went really well. And I had just never done it on fabric before.
Yeah.
And that's where I went so horribly wrong. Because I did like one test, and the test came out beautifully.
Oh, no. Yeah.
It was,
and you're like, I got it.
I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so easy. And then as I went through the day, because I did the test at like noon, and the UV at my parents' house at that point in time was 9.
Right.
Which is very high UV. It's out of 10.
We go to 11 here. We go higher than 10.
So maybe it goes to 11.
We get up to 14. Yeah. Oh my God. I was going to say, like, it would be, imagine like doing it here would be completely different, because it gets so like incredibly strong, the UV gets here.
You need like very strong UV for it to work really well. And where I reside on the hemisphere is far away from where the UV is stronger.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's not ever like that sunny here that often. So being able to do projects like that is just hard. So by the time I started doing the stuff for the video, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and the UV had dropped to 3. And then by the time I actually got like the dye onto the shirt and got out into the sun, the UV was at 1.
Oh, good.
And in the intro, I go on like this whole tirade about how this is not like a craft for the perfectionist. And then in my mind, I'm like, I can fucking do this though.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine. I did one test, and I've done a lot of stuff on paper, but I'll be fine. And yep, it didn't go well. And then the next day I was like, oh, I'll just try to like re-expose it the next day. And then one of the shirts, instead of rinsing it out immediately in water, I put it into hydrogen peroxide, which is what you're supposed to do for the second part of it. But I didn't rinse the dye first, so it set. The hydrogen peroxide oxidizes the ink really quickly instead of just letting it oxidize over the course of like a day, and that's when it turns really dark blue. I put it into hydrogen peroxide immediately, so it just turned into a blob.
Right.
And I did it on a brown shirt, which like it would have been really cool if it worked.
Yeah.
But no, now it's just like this black hole on a shirt, and I cried twice during the filming of this video. No. And bless my sister's soul. She helped me a lot, and like helped me like stay motivated throughout the video and kind of help me turn it into like a bit where I have kind of like a not so, I don't know, a fairly serious mental breakdown, but we turned it into kind of a joke. So we have like an intermission halfway through the video of me having like a mental breakdown in my parents' pasture. So,
I'm keen to watch this.
it's like at every
narrative.
turn of this video, you do not know where it's gonna go.
Oh, I love that. I love stuff like that. It often I always try and remind myself whenever things go wrong in the video. I'm like, no, this is good. This is an interesting. If it went perfectly, then the video would just be a bit too simple. We need a little.
Exactly.
Photoshop needs to crash somewhere along the line. We need something.
And you know what?
Yeah.
People like seeing themselves in videos,
Exactly.
so that's where I'm at, because I don't have a hard time with art. I don't have a hard time with craft. I'm good at both of those things. So if I'm not immediately good at art or craft, like something in me breaks, because I'm like, this is what I do. This is why can't I do this? This is very simple. I've done this before. Why can't I do it again? So yeah, I hope people enjoy it. I like had a lot of fun like stylizing the video. So like I said in the last episode, I probably over color graded, but it looks delightful. Like
if it's anything like the title cards, like the color
Yes.
grading there is like that's like bang on what people love. Like that's not enough. That's like perfect amount. I think.
I know, and
you
I
can't
just
go
don't.
too hard.
I don't want it to seem too much like other YouTubers who do like a similar style with like very heavy saturated color grading. But I like to think of, if you look back through, because I used to take like a lot of photos. If you look back through my entire like photo portfolio, it has always been that same color grading, and that's like color grading I do. It's not like a preset.
Yeah.
So I spent
That's
a lot of time learning how to color grade in Premiere, because I can do it in Lightroom very easily. I can color grade to make it look exactly like how those screen caps looked, but in Premiere it's a little harder.
It's annoying.
But I made some really cute graphics, and there's like some fun voiceovers, and I really went to town with like the music. I wanted it to feel like you were on vacation, because my parents' house is just so like, it feels like you're in like Italy.
Yeah.
In a weird way, because my parents have a super old house, but it's like out in Northern California where it looks like Tuscany. It's kind of,
it's like a little villa.
That's really what it feels like. And so I'm going to stop rambling about that. But I'm excited about it. I hope people like it. I think the music is really fun. And I don't know. Be sure to go watch it. So if you're seeing this, the video's out now on my channel.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Like.
This is huge. This is like the first like video like back from rather than an update video. This is exciting.
I know, and that's why I'm like, this can't go wrong.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
Please.
Yeah. I feel like I'm going to do the same at the end of this month when I hopefully upload another video. It just 6 months has passed and it feels like years. But
Elliot, I'm coming up on 3 years since I stopped posting on YouTube regularly.
6 months is like a month less than that. Same thing.
In YouTube years, I've been gone a decade, so.
Yeah, truly. Yeah. I started posting on YouTube in the absence. That's how much time has passed.
I know.
You forced me to start posting.
Yippee!
Yeah, thank God.
How was your week, Elliot? And then we'll get into the meat of this.
Yes, it's been good. It's been a bit all over the place. I think usually when I do a big project like my show, that would send me into a 1 to 2 month burnout phase. Mm-hmm. And have so much to do that, and now I have Ritalin to kind of potentially get me actually doing something, like rather than just nothing, that I'm kind of conflicted, because I'm quite flat because I just have no energy, but I'm also like still getting stuff done fine. And I'm like, oh, this is quite interesting how this is all working. Like I feel very on track of things, but it's also like maybe I have said yes to maybe I genuinely have said yes to too many things, which is 100% true. I was doing that Skillshare course a lot this week that I've been doing. It got to midnight last night. I told them I would have it in full by last night. I didn't realize how much editing was involved in this thing because I was doing it all myself. And it ended with me leaving a 3-minute voice message to my agent being like, please let me not do this. Like basically being like, I actually can't do this course because the course is like, I don't know. It's about like fucking how to build your Instagram page and shit. And there is like a nice, like kind of, have fun, like artistic approach to it. But I was watching back the footage and I'm like, this is just a fancy version of how to get followers quick kind of thing. And I'm like, I hate this. Like, I actually don't, this doesn't make me happy. I don't want to promote this. This feels just really weird to do. It was kind of the only idea I had for a course and it sounded good at the time. And then now I'm like, I am going to drop it all. So that's nice. That's cleared up some good space so that I can work on another project I have to do, which is this video for YouTube, which I went to this event last night, which was kind of crazy. And then I'm doing this over the weekend. I'm working like 24/7 right now, which is wild, but quite exciting and I'm enjoying it a bit. I'm sorry if I just stared down the camera as well. Anyone watching? There's a small fly it's a small little pest that from this tree from this plant that is definitely hovering around.
Is it a
it's
fungus
just making me
gnat?
think things. It so is. Is that what it is? A
Yeah,
fungus? Oh
probably.
my god. A fungus. Oh,
Well, it's not.
that's
It's
screwed.
not. It's just because they live
Look
in,
like a gnat.
or they reside, or they breed in the soil.
Oh, good.
That's
It
where
did
they
look
come
like it
from.
came from the soil. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Love that. Love that so much. But yeah, otherwise, it's been good. The visa's coming along nicely. Things are sweet. I did the rounds this week of asking everyone for a letter of recommendation. Kel was included. Kel left me on red for a bit, which was fine. I was a
And
bit
then I
worried. I sent a lot of
responded.
information. You did respond. You did respond. But I did. I went to bed having sent everyone that morning, like a bunch of past clients, a few other YouTubers, asking for a letter of recommendation. No one had replied to me. And I was like, this isn't going to happen.
You're
No
like,
one
so
wants
I'm
to
not
do
moving
this.
to the U.S.
Yeah,
I'm hearing.
and I'm like, you know what? Fair. Why would you want to write a letter of recommendation? This sounds like an awful thing
I
to do. I
absolutely
completely get
will.
it.
Do not worry.
Oh, I woke up, every single person replied saying yes. And I was like, oh, cool. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
they're actually like quite nice. I'm like, sweet. Okay, fine. So that should be fine. But God, it's a weird thing to do. Very weird thing to ask of people, to talk themselves up a lot so that they can then present themselves as like the best possible person to recommend the best possible person for
To
a
move
visa. Like
to the United States, famously
United
very
States.
friendly to immigrants.
Oh yeah, it's wild. It's just it's such a strange process. But yeah, I watched the debate. Obviously, that was fun.
Dear.
It's such a weird thing to do as an Australian.
You don't understand how hard it is
I don't.
to be an American.
Look, I'm thinking of moving to New York in January, and I'm like, I'll wait and see how January 6th turns out. Like, I'm like, I'll book the flight like on
Yeah.
the day, pretty much at this rate.
Hey,
Like, I'm just gonna see how we
maybe
go.
book it on the 6th. You might get like a discount.
Oh, true. Actually, that could be fun.
Because
Yeah.
like, who would want to fly on that day? I don't know if we'll
Yeah.
have like an anniversary like meetup. I expect my neighbors to go to the anniversary meetup of January 6th.
Yeah.
I know
well,
they're
I'll
big
of course
fans.
be there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm gonna make a sick video about designing business cards for January 6th attendees.
Oh,
Guys, it's
yeah.
gonna be an awesome video.
You can do like a bail bonds type
yes.
of thing, or like a Better Call
Yeah.
Saul kind of attorney.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. And then sponsored by Skillshare. Just love that one as well.
By like brain pills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Brain Pills. It's good. Yeah, I was just sitting. I was like, I reckon I can get some work done today. And then Katie was like, the debate's on at 11, and I was like, well,
Unfortunately, I will be
I'm glued
tuning
to
into
the
that.
TV. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We sat down and we watched that, and then the next night we did the gay debate, which was the VMAs.
Yes.
So that was fun. It was like 2 nights in a row. We're like, oh, 2 really cool things that we're actually really looking forward to for very different reasons.
Oh yeah, live TV. It's like how exciting.
Yeah, we don't get live events that often on TV
Yeah.
unless it's like sports.
Well, that's the
But
thing.
I
It
don't
felt
know.
like a Super Bowl. Like it felt like
Yeah.
tune in. Like I don't watch the NFL really, but I will tune into the Super Bowl, and it's like I don't really like watch I don't know, American news coverage. But I was like, I'll watch the debate. We all did.
If you're gonna
Everyone,
watch
all
one
here
thing,
did. Yeah.
it's one hell of a thing to watch.
Oh
It's-
yeah, it is something else. Speaking of things I did watch though, I watched last night. This is my recommendation of the week to anyone out
Okay.
there who's this is an incredibly Elliot pick. There is a series made by I think like Bill Hader, Fred Armisen, a few SNL people from the past called Documentary Now, where they parody documentaries and they film it in
Aw.
different styles. I haven't watched any of it except this one episode from series 3 of it where they parody there's this documentary of the musical called Company, which I parody in my show, and the recording of it is like like the whole the iconic moments of this recording are like it takes 24 hours or something, and they're all like stressed out, and you see all the behind the scenes stuff, and it's really interesting. You see like Stephen Sondheim react to all that, and this is a parody of that, and it's like 25 minutes. It is the best thing I've ever watched in my life. I think I would single-handedly say that because I know the musical so well. So if you know Company, watch that for the love of God. I've been listening to the cast recording, which is 5 songs of a fake musical that they made, which are some of the best
God.
musical songs I've ever heard in my life. And I can't stop thinking about it. That's Elliot's recommendation of the week. It might even fall into
Alright.
song of the week. It's getting scary. This might be the first week I put a musical theater song, a parody musical theater song in the song of the week.
If you want to put your name behind that in the Kelliot Song of the Week playlist, by all means.
It's true. My name is attached to it. I
If you
forget
want
that
your
it's-
name attached to it, Godspeed, soldier.
You know what? Maybe I do. I've got so many
All
choices
right.
this week, which we
Then
should
come
jump into.
So true. So
do it.
true.
Let's bloody do it. Kel, do you have a song of the week?
No, let me
I've
think.
got one otherwise. Okay, I'll go
Okay.
for it. I'll jump in. My song of the week this week, I think, is going to be one that is similar to a one I've recommended before. It's called Cookie Bay by the High Llamas from their album Snowbug. I have never heard of this band before, but I'm pretty sure I couldn't find any information about this song because I was curious. But I have recommended a song by Stereolab, and it sounds like this song isn't like the singers sound like I'm pretty sure they're the same singers in Stereolab, but this is before featuring was included in song titles, so it should say featuring Stereolab. I'm almost certain it's Stereolab. So it's quite a fantastic song. It's a very feel good, happy song. I was walking in the sun 2 days ago listening to this song, and I thought God is good. This is what a beautiful day. It was really nice. So it's quite an enjoyable song. I think you'll all enjoy it, and that is my Elliot song of the week.
Gorgeous. I think mine, I will go with Stephanie Says by The Velvet Underground.
Ooh.
That's kind of where I'm at mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching some film lately. Yeah, you know.
Oh no. Kel's becoming a film bro before our eyes. Everyone. It's getting
I'm
concerning.
becoming a film bro.
getting
You
really
guys can
weird.
thank Ramdan for that. Yeah, I watch film.
It happens to everyone.
Yeah. I haven't watched any new movies that are on my list due to debate and VMAs. And also, we needed to finish Drag Race, or the season of Drag Race we were on. So, more pressing matters. But that's the song of the week. Elliot, do you have a font of the week?
This is the one that will always stump me, I think. This
Oh
is
my
truly I'm so bad at this. Because I haven't been doing much designing. I think that's the issue. So I'm kind of like stuck. But I can think of one off the top of my head.
Can you?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Hang on. I'm opening Adobe Illustrator real quick. And then I'm going through my font list.
Oh, I can't even look at my...
Yeah, I'm going to get
My
overwhelmed
font
as soon
list
as I
there.
open it. I would probably just go with a simple one today, maybe. I'm going to say... No, I was going to say Apple Garamond Light, but I think that's so cringe. But I do use it a lot. It is like the classic, like vintage, like cool, like 80s Nike ad font kind of thing, which, it does the job. Maybe you'll... please, if you have one, please jump in. Great, please.
My font of the week is News Gothic by Morris Fuller Benton. It's an Adobe original. It's on Adobe Fonts. I think this is a beautiful sans serif. I use News Gothic Standard Medium a lot. I think it's kind of like good for the subtle hint of a more retro typeface, but I think it's because it is. I don't know. It feels like it's from another time, but without being like overt in the vintage vein.
Yeah.
But I think it's a really nice, clean sans serif. Very versatile, but I mostly use the medium weight.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's on Adobe Fonts.
Shout out to Adobe Fonts. The one good thing, I think. My subscription is going back to its normal price next month. I just got the email saying I've lost my half price discount that I keep getting. So it's that time of the year, everyone. I get to message customer service and try and swindle my way into getting more.
And you know what? I respect the hustle.
Everyone should do it. There's no reason not to. They will most likely give you one. I think they've stopped doing that apparently, but then you can I think if you cancel it, you still get something. I don't know.
I think if you bully them, it'll work.
Yeah, which must be 90% of their job, dealing with people bullying them into it, which is, I think, that's Adobe's fault. Fuck them. Yeah. My font of the week is going to be a classic with a spin. I'm going to say it's Neue Montreal Squeezed. Which is Neue Montreal, of course, is the font that I use. My favorite font. I use it all the time. From Pangram. Pangram have like an experimental side foundry called Off-Type, and they sent me all of the fonts that are included in Off-Type when they launched it. And Neue Montreal Squeezed was one of them, which is just Neue Montreal but with different squished weights until you get it like really squeezed. So it's squeezing the font
is that because
for
it's variable, or is there an actual squeezed? Because I'm looking at
I don't think it's variable, but it is.
This says it's variable.
It may be.
But I'm not looking at the squeezed
version. Didn't download
version.
that right file. Yeah. Okay. The squeezed version is specifically. It's called. I don't know if they have. Maybe it's an exclusive that only I got. Maybe I didn't look it up before I did this, but it's just. It's just slightly more and more squeezed weights of Neue Montreal, so you don't have to squish it yourself, and it doesn't give you weird effects. Like it looks like it's made squeezed, which is quite fun. Yeah.
Oh, it's giving Acumen Pro condensed. My queen.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that they did that. And that is my fun of the week. Shout out to Pangram.
I think that's a banger.
They've always been there for me. Yeah. It's pretty fun. And now, of course, the snack of the... I don't want to do that. I was going to do it. I was going to do this
We'll save it for the Patreon.
Yeah, I think so.
We get the snack of the week over there. All right. Elliot, are you ready to get into some listener voicemails?
Yeah, I'm ready to hear what the people want to say.
So if you guys want to submit some voicemails for us to answer, we're going to try to answer maybe like one or two in every episode. Sometimes we might forget, and we might answer more over on our Patreon. But if you want to submit to our listener voicemail, head on over to our Patreon, sign up for $5 a month. We have a good time over there, and you can submit stuff for us to talk about on the pod. First off, on here and both on the Patreon. So this first voicemail comes from Christian. Let's hear what Christian.
Did we hear from Christian last week?
Did we?
Hi, Kel and Elliot. My name is Christian. If it wasn't for y'all two,
Okay.
We did. We did. Yeah.
Okay. It says we didn't play it. Liars. Okay. God. Next one is from Bradley.
SpeakPipe. Cool.
Liars. Okay.
SpeakPipe is the app that we use.
Howdy. My name is Bradley. I am 20 years old, and I am from Virginia. And I do graphic design full time.
Yippee!
I love it. It is my absolute dream job. But I do have a question about how you guys store your files. So the kind of situation I have going on right now is I tend to be switching from computers, like day by day. And so I'm exclusively working off of a hard drive. And it's been great. It makes it convenient, but I'm trying to think like long term, the best way to just keep everything that I have. And I'm thinking that like I just always have like a big hard drive at home that is just like a backup for everything. But I also am kind of paranoid that every hard drive I own is just going to simultaneously fail at once. And I just also have this like feeling inside me that I want to have access to all my files all the time, no matter where I am. Even though I don't think that's realistic, but I would love to hear about how you guys store your files, if you found any systems that work great for you. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. Love you both. Bye-bye.
Bradley, thank you.
Thank you, Bradley. Thank you,
Banger
Bradley.
question. Congrats on loving graphic design.
I was going to say how nice it is to hear someone living the dream.
Yeah.
That's very sweet. It's quite sweet. At 20, what the hell?
Oh my God. I had so much
Good on
life
you,
in my
Bradley.
eyes as a graphic designer at 20.
Yeah.
I hope you keep living it, Bradley.
Yeah.
I have my method. I feel like it's not going to be the most helpful because it is limited to the computer that I use. And that is that I store everything in my iCloud. So when I'm jumping between computers, like can you hear my neighbor's Olympic weightlifting?
I can't.
Well, you can or you can't.
I can't.
Okay,
I
thank
can't. Sorry.
I was like,
Sorry, I can't.
did you say
I can't.
T?
I can't.
I can't. So I keep everything in my iCloud. My iCloud is encrypted and I can access it on my phone. I can access it on my iPad, my MacBook, and my iMac. Because it's just what I found to be the best method. I used to store everything on like solid state drives. And then years ago, Matt had his like life's work on a hard drive. And hard drive fell. Hard drive shattered. And Matt has never been the same.
Humpty Dumpty be like, so me.
Had a big fall is an
Wow.
understatement.
Shattered a hard drive. That's
We used to
that's
have
scary.
gorgeous tile floor. And
Yeah,
not
that
a
will
friend.
break so many things. Yeah.
Not a friend for a hard drive. So I've moved away from using hard drives, and I feel like that's what we were really limited to for a long time. So I use my iCloud.
How much storage you got in that thing on the iCloud?
I don't know.
Surely-
Every couple
I
months,
didn't
they're like, "You're running out of storage," and I go, "Okay," and then I pay for more.
more. Yeah.
So,
Wow. I forget
I
that you can just
also-
kind of keep increasing it forever, I guess, really.
I feel like I'm at like the unlimited point at like there's so much, but I also have stuff stored in Box because that's what I use for like my client sharing.
Yeah, you sent me
that's
some
what I'll,
Box stuff. I've never heard of Box until you started sending me
It's
Box.
not Dropbox.
Yeah.
It's better than
Fuck
Dropbox.
Fuck Dropbox. I hate Dropbox.
But yeah, all of like the labels that I work with use Box. And that's what I use. They email me every couple months saying that I have too many people accessing my folders, but I'm like, those are my clients. And they're like, you need to upgrade your account, but then they won't put any limits on my account, so I just ignore their emails.
Bloody hell. No one's
So-
stop there.
But that's what I do. I became very annoyed with hard drives, and I jump between computers. Or when I get my new computer very soon, I need to be able to access things remotely and not have to like download files. Oh my God, I don't want to download files.
Yeah.
Do not make me download a file. I want it on my computer all the time. So you have to, with like iCloud, you have to download it, but it'll take like 4 seconds. I can do that.
Good to know. Because I'm the opposite. I was a OneDrive girly, and then I have now since moved to solid state drives.
Okay.
Because I got the laptop, and then when I was all on the one computer, that is, see, they love them. I love these things so much. This one, has the rugged edges, so it's like if it gets hit or something, I think it's
good.
like safe. And it's so small. It's like 2 terabytes or something, but it's like physically small that I can carry it around everywhere.
We've come so far with the hard drive.
Oh, I've got like on my my camcorder that I was shooting some footage at this YouTube event last night, and I was like, it'd be funny if I do it all on like a camcorder.
Yeah.
And the SD card that is in there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
The SD card that is in the camcorder is 512 megabytes. And I put in a 64 gigabyte SD card and it maxed out the view, like how like 24 hours of footage left. And I was like,
It's like,
wow,
holy shit.
it's like, I don't know what to do with this. It's like, I don't,
Yeah.
you've like given me too much space. It like freaks out. So I actually just ended up filming on the 512 one. I got a good 10 minutes of footage available on it or something. Wow. It's crazy. But like, so I was
like
OneDrive.
Half a megapixel.
Yeah, the file sizes are tiny. It's hilarious. Exporting them as MPI, I think, or something, like as the file, or MODs. And I'm like, oh yeah, you got to convert every single thing. It's awful process. But I liked OneDrive for ages. I basically have my entire body of work up until late last year on OneDrive. That was where all my designs were, all that. That works perfectly fine because I only use the one computer. Once I got a laptop, I was kind of just like, I don't want to download every single thing onto this new device. And I think when I was doing a lot of the YouTube videos, I was like, a lot of these files are going to be huge. I don't really want to download them.
I will concede that. When Matt and I are transferring files between one another, that's why I have that little SanDisk. That's definitely a massive hurdle. Like, those files are not transportable.
It's not going to happen. What I love, that like my favorite thing, because in my head I was like, I'd never used one of these before, and I knew that Premiere Pro saves everything to, well, like it just pulls things. It doesn't save it directly into the project. It's pulling assets from a location. And I was like, so if I just, I was like, if I save it all onto this, the entire project file with all the footage on this, then I should just be able to plug it into any computer, and then that file should all be there. And it was. And I was like, oh, sick. This is great. So my workflow now is just, if I want to work on my big computer or my laptop,
that's actually a really good
chuck
idea.
this in and start doing it. It is so good.
I think Matt and I are going to implement that.
Yeah. Because it's like the main thing I want to use this for is just, because I'm also afraid of losing it or like breaking it or whatever. So it's just the video that I'm working on or the project that I'm working on, I'll keep it on this. But then once it's done, I'll move it to the cloud and save it like properly.
Okay. That's smart.
So it's more like, this is just like whatever I'm currently working on is on here. Everything else.
So then you
like
only
a
have to
backup
move
somewhere.
it once. Like you just have to transfer all the files onto it one time.
Exactly. Because if in the off chance it breaks or I lose it, I only lose the projects I'm working on, which will suck at the time. But
it's better than losing a lot of stuff.
Exactly. I don't want to lose the backup, the archive. So that's what works best for me. But I still have my cloud. I still have my OneDrive. OneDrive kind of sucks, but I was using a Microsoft PC. I thought it would make sense, but I don't know. iCloud I enjoy as well. I've also got Google Drive. I've got everything. It's too much. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. I like Box the most. I think it has the best security. I like that you can restrict access to it at any point in time. Anyone with the link. You can kick people off. It's great.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah. I hope that was helpful.
Great question.
Let's do one more.
We love a bit of admin chat.
Oh, yeah.
Because that stuff does help. That stuff. These things are cute. Look at the color, guys. They didn't have this one in store, so I had to order the beige online because they're only up in blue and black, and I was like,
you needed it.
I want the beige. It like matches my shirt. Very cool.
God. Okay, so this next one doesn't have a name, but let's see.
Oh my God, maybe they'll introduce themselves.
Hello, Marian here. I just wanted to ask you how you market yourself from the beginning, because I've been doing the old-fashioned way that I'm giving my business cards and reach out to people, but I don't know if there is like any other way, so I wanted to ask you that. Thank you. Love you. Bye.
Oh, that's so sweet.
What was this?
Hello, Marian here.
Marianne. Thank you for calling in. Great question. Many people asking such question. Elliot, I feel like you're the best to.
Well, I was going to make a whole course on this.
Yes.
And then I dropped it. You know what? I'll upload the full course to the Patreon. I'll just get it
I
up.
think we'll have the same answer here.
Yeah.
The best place to be is online.
100%. It's just, I think everything's gone global. And it's like
Yeah.
the opportunity, no matter where you are in the world, you can work for global clients. The only way they're going to see it is online. I have never personally printed out a business card. It was one of the first things I designed for myself because I just assumed that it was a thing. I think
Well,
they
you're
are
kind of
fun.
told that it's what you need, especially if you're like
Yeah.
coming from school. Like they'll tell you. I've printed so many. I think I've handed out maybe 5 in my life.
Oh yeah, I just tell them my handle, right? That's what I do. Like it's all online. That's my entire portfolio. It skips a step of like them searching. Like here's the card. Keep the card. I don't know. What are you gonna do with that? Like it's I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a huge believer in Instagram as a way of getting clients. I think artists and designers have claimed Instagram as a way of sharing their work. It is very much not made for it. It is an incredibly frustrating platform, but people are looking for inspiration. They are looking for freelancers on there. There are actively people looking for stuff. And every time you post on there, every time you get your work up, you're essentially giving yourself a chance to be seen by more and more people. The more often you post, the more people will see your work. That's literally just how it's inevitable. That's how it works. And I think, yeah, if you can present your page as like as yourself, right? Like if you can say, this is my work, this is who I am, this is who I want to be seen as, then I think people can tell and they're gonna, I'm kind of like quoting the course here for some reason, which is really annoying me. Like I'm like getting lost in like, because I filmed it like
we
yesterday.
haven't seen the course.
Oh, well, what
You
what
can
is it?
quote your own course.
Okay, I can quote the course. Maybe I will. But no, I think it's just, yeah, like it's all about, it's not just about getting your work up there. It's very much like attaching yourself and attaching your personality to it and showing that like this is the person behind it. You don't want to work with just my work. You want to work with me. Like read my captions, listen to how I talk about it. Like I'm excited.
People
I
ask,
like what I do.
should you have separate pages between like design and personal? And I say, don't combine them, or not. Don't combine them. Don't. Period.
Yeah.
Instead, combine them because people are, again, like working with your personality first over your work. And they want to know like you as a person, especially if they're looking to hire someone like full time. They kind of want to know, and people will sleuth your Instagram. That happens literally. We're going to pretend like that doesn't happen, but it does. And I think eventually down the line, once you've established yourself a little bit, you can have like a personal Instagram that is just for like friends and family.
Yeah.
That's separate, like entirely from like your public persona of a graphic designer. But I wouldn't like separate them, keep them all together, show your personality, yourself, but also show like your work and the things that you're capable of and the things that make you excited about what you do.
Yeah. I think that's good.
Yeah.
That's it. I think, yeah.
And it
it's
just takes time.
Get it up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And if and a big thing is if it seems intimidating to get online, that goes away so quickly. The more often you post, you'll get so numb to it. As soon as you stop posting for a while, you'll feel it again. You'll feel like that kind of hesitance to get back into it. But the way I like to think of it is like, the people who are seeing your work, if you're an artist and designer posting your stuff, the majority of them are fellow artists and designers who are looking to get inspired, right? Who are looking for someone to save, looking for someone to follow, and just because they admire that person. And I think that is such a cool thing that someone can now that you've posted online, someone who has never heard of you before in their life can look at your work, be inspired by it, and save it for like, you know, to get some kind of creative energy from it.
Yeah.
That's an incredibly cool feeling. And you give yourself the opportunity to do that by putting it up online. So don't be afraid. It's a very loving community. We're a part of it. They're nice people. So yeah, I think get it up. Show the world your stuff. Be proud of it. It's fucking sick. It's cool.
I agree.
Nice.
Let's see, we have time for one more. Let's see.
This is going by so quick, this episode. It's crazy.
I know. I yapped for like 15 minutes about my video, and I'm realizing I shouldn't have done that.
No, it makes me happy because then I can chapter that really easily. There's like a topic.
Kel yaps.
It clocked my head. I was like, oh, cool. I can, instead of writing weekly recaps for this one, I can say Kel's new video, and then I can do my... Yeah, I was like, cool.
I guess it's nice and easy.
We need to pay a producer for this thing.
I know. All right. Garrett.
Yeah. This may be the most boring question you get asked, but do you have any tips on how to organize all of your files on your computer? Because mine are a dumpster fire. Thanks.
Garrett,
Thank you, Garrett.
I'm so glad somebody asked that because who's it? Marion earlier
Marion.
asked about like how you store files. I was like,
that was Bradley. Bradley stored files, Marion. Yeah.
How I was thinking, God, I hope someone asks how to organize files because I have a really good system. Elliot, do you have a system?
I want to hear this because I change mine every fucking day. It's awful. I'll put like all of my raw footage into a folder called raw footage under that project thing, and I'm like, fuck yeah, Elliot, you're organizing shit. And then a week later, I'll go like,
Marie
what am I
Kondo
doing?
over here.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool.
So, I learned this system from when I worked in-house at Live Nation because they were a well-oiled machine of how they organized files there. Every single project had a project number, a unique code, and that way it was always searchable in all of the file names, that one project code. So, for me, I don't generate those initial project codes because I'm too deep in the game now. But that's something that you can start yourself. We always did 4 digits because 2, you're going to run out quick. 4 digits. So even for myself now, even though I don't do exactly that system, I organize all of my files, YouTube included, by the name. Everything has a name. So like my clients will be under their client names. My YouTube files will be under I actually number my YouTube videos. It'll be like 01, 02, and then I just keep going. But for my clients, I'll have them under my client name. And then inside the client folder, everything will be titled 01. Or it'll be I'm not explaining this well, Jesus. So if I had a client, for example, Gracie Abrams. So under my Gracie Abrams file, I will have a subfolder, and it starts with 01, and then I'll have an artist tag. So it'll be GA _ 01. So that'll be in like Gracie Abrams 01 inside of that 01 _ GA _ 01. So that's within one project. So one project will be under the 01 in that subfolders for each design. So I need like a bracket to explain this.
Yes.
So as I get new projects, I can then go, okay, 02. So then within 02, inside of that folder, it'll be 02 _ GA _ 01. So then if I have a second design in that same one, it'll be 02 _ GA _ 02. And then within that, I'll have my V1, V2, V3, etc. Sometimes I'll do A, B, and C, depending on what the difference is. But I mostly reserve that for mockups. But I group all the designs together by that project code. And that's how I did it at Live Nation. The one thing that you have to do is make sure that my artist abbreviations are not the same as another one. I had the issue where I had Billie Eilish, but I also had the Beatles, and they were both BE.
Yes.
And you can save that name under different folders, but if I'm searching for a particular file, if for some reason I can't just find it through my Finder window, both will come up. So I just try to keep it as specific as possible. So each project within one client gets an overall new number. So it'll go 01, 02, 03 for whole new projects, but with returning clients. But if it's still attached to another project, I have revisions, it'll all stay within that folder. Or if we're building off of something that was part of that initial project, it all still stays in that same folder. So, I don't know. It's kind of just a long code for each project name, but it's worked out flawlessly for me. I've never had an issue with it.
How do you know the difference? Say if O1 and O2, like O1 is a shirt and O2 is a hat. How do you, if you're looking for the hat, where are you going to find, and you've got like 10, how are you going to find the hat?
If, for example, I have a project with an artist and I'm supposed to do 2 shirts, a hat, and a keychain, how does one organize that? So if within that same project, it'll be under O1, for example. So then within that, I'll have O1, and then let's say it was for kelliot, so it'd be O1 underscore KE underscore O1. And then within that folder, I'm doing the first t-shirt. So I'll have that same project code underscore FR for like the front of a shirt. Same, and then for the back. And then I'll have same name underscore mockup. And then if I have different versions of mockups, sometimes I'll do A, B, and C. If it's just different colorways, if it's different iterations of the art, it becomes V1, V2, V3, might be V2A, V2B. So I keep all of the different versions. And then you would go back and go O1 underscore KE underscore O2. And then within that folder, we would have the second shirt where it'd be O1 underscore KE underscore O2 underscore V1 underscore FR for front. It's this is so much. It works for me.
I say. No. I can definitely say. Like I'm quite envious. In fact,
each product will have each. I really separate it just by design, not necessarily by product, because I might put the same design on like a t-shirt and a hoodie. So I want to keep the designs together.
Yes.
Even if it's pieces of a design, like I might take a piece and put it on the front, or I might take the piece of something and then put it on a hat. But I want to keep all of those designs together, so I'm not separating any aspects of that design, so the family stays together. But then in the next folder within that sub-project folder, everything still stays separate, but still like generally together in the same main folder. And then I never, ever edit an original file and just save over it unless there was an error made. So if there was a typo, if we changed dates on a date back, that's the only time I will ever save over an original file. Anything I touch, we're changing any colorway, becomes V2, becomes V3. We are never touching an original file. I don't care how much space it takes up on my computer. You never know when a client wants to go back to something, and I guarantee you it will happen more often than you think, and you're going to wish you had that original file.
And it is always the time where you go, just this once, I'm going to make this edit without saving a new thing. Because I don't think it's not going to bite me. And then it always bites you.
Yeah, it always does.
I remember doing that when I was making my clone and having one massive Blender file that I worked on for a month, and I started saving over it halfway through, and I was I started making new ones rather, and I was so glad because the amount of times I had to go back, but I just didn't organize them by V, and I instead wrote like a visual descriptor of what I would go clone underscore hair, clone underscore no hair, and and I was organizing by date, but then I would edit things on different dates, and I was I got so confused. It was awful. So some kind of numbering system. I used to do that. Oh my goodness.
You have to come with a very uniform system that you can't fuck with. Yeah. You can't do any sort of descriptor outline. No. Don't. The only time I change those file names is when it becomes a client-facing file, and then I will dumb it down so they know what they're looking at. So it'll be like artist name, black logo fill. It very straightforward. But I used to do it that way where I would have very literal names in the file name of whatever that version was, and it catches up to you. You can't write sentences as a file name. No, it's not a very efficient system. And then God forbid you're trying to remember what the damn file name is.
Oh yeah, God, it's hell. That's just I also saw the coding systems and stuff like that. Also, when you start organizing your life like that and organizing your work like that, you feel so. I genuinely think it helps with the confidence of being like a freelancer or being in control of your stuff, because it just looks. You can't help but look at your own work and think, oh, I'm I'm doing this like a
got my
professional
shit
does. This is
together.
cool. I got my shit together. This is awesome.
My
it
life
was like,
could be in
it's sick.
shambles.
Yeah,
My
but you've got
files?
that.
I've always got my file organization.
I'm right. That's such a post for me to write. That's such a. I'm so turning that into a fucking design
You're
because it's so
welcome.
true. It's like it is. I know that this thing here, for example, I'm like, this is so. What I've got going on here is so sick. And then I've got this new like to-do list organizing thing that I'm like so proud of and shit. And I look at that now and I go, like, I've got all my different like. Shout out to Tick Tick. I've got this. It's a great app, and I've got all. It's my one of many apps I've tried.
Boom.
Oh, the music, tick, tick, boom. Never seen it. And I've got all my different client projects or different like things. They all have to-do lists within them. And then I assign dates, deadlines to each of them. And then I have a today section on the app. So that's my main inbox with everything. And then I can just press today and it sorts all the things that are due today on that, in that today. And I'm like, oh, so even though it looks so overwhelming, I know that just today I have this to do. And like I can check next 7 days to get a sense of the week, and I'm like, that is exactly what I need. I love
That's
deadlines.
brilliant.
I love to-do lists. I love ticking boxes, and it all feels like in control. So yeah, get your life. If this is what you need, if you needed to hear this today, get your life sorted.
Yeah,
If
get
you
your
didn't need to
files
hear
sorted,
it,
man.
that's fine. Get your
Get your
files
schedule
sorted.
sorted.
Get a 2 terabyte SSD, and
Yeah. Get
USB-C.
whatever the max amount that you can buy from
holy shit.
iCloud.com.
yeah.
That's my method.
Oh yeah.
I think that's a pretty good wrap on this episode.
I think so. Some people have been, because people have been asked. I've noticed. I think I've glanced at comments asking these same questions. So I'm glad we got to answer them in the end.
Yeah.
Because I would always be like, well, I don't really want to talk about file stuff, but it is quite engaging and it is a helpful. Like,
It is
holy
helpful.
shit, it is very helpful. It's
One thing I would put out to a call to the listeners of Kelliot. I would like to know how you guys manage your fonts. Because it
I don't.
seems to be that we're all there's just a big bucket
Yeah.
and we're just going, help.
I blame it on Adobe at this point. I refuse to.
Yes.
There needs to be folders or something. Like I've heard of plugins that exist, but if anyone has recommendations and stuff, please. Yeah, I've got.
What was that old one
the
called? It
favorites
was
don't
like,
sync as well. Font Bucket? I think it was Font Bucket.
it was like, no, there was something that was like Suitcase. It had
Oh, that's a great
case
name.
in it.
Suitcase is a great name. If that's
I
not a
don't
thing.
remember what it's called, but it's like not
Suitcase
around
isn't a thing.
anymore.
We're not publishing this episode until we get the patent for Suitcase as a font organizing thing. It's so good.
It used
It's
to be
right
a
there.
thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to her. I don't think she's around anymore. But yeah, like I need something that integrates like fonts that I've bought and also ones that
God.
I have downloaded on my computer via Adobe Fonts. Again, this is a call out to the Adobe Fonts team because I know
We know you're watching.
I know you're watching. I know you're watching. Because you've implemented my ideas before, okay? I know you have. My call, please allow me to make lists on Adobe Fonts. Allow me to make Pinterest board type of thing on Adobe Fonts. Please, let me make my own lists. How am I favorites? Be for real. That's a horrible method of organizing
One list.
fonts. One list is all
Adobe
I
says,
get.
let me give you one list. Let me give you one list.
I give you $70 a month. And you give me
Can I
one
call
list?
I've got a call out for them as well. Adobe Fonts, please add stories to Adobe Fonts and the ability to follow someone. I would like to grow my account on Adobe Fonts. I would love that. That's all I'm
Let's
asking.
add a feed, a live feature. They already kind of have that.
Adobe Fonts Live would be so good.
Yeah.
I'm streaming on Adobe Fonts today, guys.
No, that's what their
subscribe to
live
me.
streams used to be.
Like the
I'm not
Adobe
joking.
Live, Live stream. They used to be integrated.
It used to be by, I think it was like an offshoot of like Typekit. Remember when Typekit was around? Remember when Adobe
we need
charged
to talk about Typekit.
separately for Typekit? Do you remember that shit?
I actually do remember that. I do remember that. That's
that
why I
was
didn't touch
nasty
it.
work, Adobe.
And then one day it was free again.
Well, it's because everybody was
included in the price. Yeah.
right. Free for the price of the monthly subscription.
$70 a month.
Yeah, I remember when that happened, and then they did like a weird intermediary where some of the fonts were included and some weren't included.
Yes. Bizarre.
And then there was
like so many licensing issues or something.
The student package also had limited access to Typekit.
Yeah.
So you didn't have access to the full Adobe font or Adobe Typekit library. And then they changed it to Adobe fonts and included it all in like the same price. I don't know if it's still limited if you just have like the Photoshop like subscription. I don't know.
Probably, yeah. I think it does come under the cloud. Like you got to have the old.
Yeah.
You got to get this cloud subscription. Yeah. It's one of those
nasty things you're doing over there, Adobe. Not type fonts.
Fonts. Typekit. How about I hit you over the head, Adobe? How about that?
Typekit. Now my Typekit here.
Those are the days. Awful logo too. I remember that was like green.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Green. Yeah.
I remember having like a meltdown on the phone with Adobe customer service because I was trying to get like a font for like client work. This was like years ago. And like it was right when they changed it and I no longer had access to that font.
God. Yeah.
And it was run like right when my like student subscription was ending, but it was around the time where they were doing that weird thing with Typekit and I was trying to sign up with like the regular one, but I couldn't afford the full suite.
Yeah.
So, Adobe, please implement our ideas. Just know that we came up with them first because you guys, if you had come up with the idea, you would have implemented them because they're such good ideas.
Yeah, you'd really think they would have implemented them.
Really think like
if
they had good ideas. I don't know if Adobe's really capable of having good ideas anymore.
Yeah, I'm struggling to believe that as well.
Struggling to believe. I think they only have bad ideas over there.
We should live stream Adobe Max and commentate on it for the Patreon or something.
I've had that thought. The two worst people you know go to Adobe Max.
Yeah, just sit there.
No, I feel like we'd be fun at Adobe Max. I feel like we'd have a kiki.
Yeah. You got $2,000 to spare? Get a ticket.
Wait, when is Adobe Max?
It's coming up very soon, I think. Like it's within the month, I think, right?
October 14th.
1 month away.
16th. Elliot, what if we did Adobe Max? Chat, let us know if we should do Adobe Max. Chat, let us know if Elliot should fly to Miami.
I've got so many things to do in Miami. I think it'll actually line up really well with my Florida holiday.
Yeah, I know you're a big Florida fan.
For 1 week. Oh yeah, that was my dream when I was a kid. I was like, I went to Disneyland once, and then I was like, one day I'm gonna be so rich that I can fly all my friends to Disney World and spend 7 days there together at the Disneyland Resort.
I like how you became
charming
British.
Young boy. Of course, always as a child. Fly my friends to Universal Studios for a week. Oh.
All Australian people actually start out British, and as they age, they become Australian. Like British is a child, Australian adult.
Oh yeah, of course. So. All the British TV.
Yeah, run by children, babies.
Yeah. Guys, thanks for the.
This is good.
Sorry, to shut it down.
We're just hanging out, man.
We are, yeah. It's good. I feel it's so easy now. It's so funny.
I know.
It's just so turn it on and
before we go, I need to show you.
Oh, you didn't? Yeah, I was gonna say.
I didn't show you my nails.
No.
So again,
I've seen a close up of one.
Saw my legend, LV, my amazing nail artist.
Incredible.
So I've been trying to grow my nails out. These are my natural nails, but I've been trying to grow my nails out so I could get this little man. And this little man.
Is it Paul McCartney?
That's actually really funny. You're hilarious.
I was like, I didn't want to say when you messaged me. I didn't want to
That would be so funny if I put a tiny Paul McCartney trapped.
Styles?
And no, they're just little guys.
Oh, I thought it was
just little guys. They're like
it was very Yellow Submarine, I thought.
Like look at
That's incredible. They actually stick out. It's amazing. It's amazing.
And we did them like facing opposite directions so they could succeed at each other.
Sick. Yeah, nice. They can make
obviously.
love.
But then on this or hand, we have like, I don't know, crunchies.
Yeah.
And then on this nail or this hand is more calm. But I
so
don't know how to
good.
describe this. There's all sorts of rhinestones and doodads on my nails. And they're very sparkly. And then just know there are two little tiny figurines on my thumbnails.
Standing
they are
perfectly in a line.
perfectly still.
Yeah. Perfectly vertical.
Yep. Sticking out from my nails. Because this is all I've wanted. Ever since they
so
showed
sick.
me that this was an option of something I could put on my nail, I said, I need to get my nails that long. I need one of those little men on my nails.
I love that was an option. I love it so much.
They're like from like, you know when they do like architectural models?
Yes.
That's what they are.
That is it, eh? Yep.
So
I love that.
I'm kind of obsessed with them. They're so
They're very
funny. That's all.
Now a review for the people who make it to the end. God
Yippee.
bless.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Thanks so much for listening. Check out the Patreon. Check out the podcast if you haven't listened to I think we're getting to a point now where people may start listening to the most recent one before they don't go to the backlog at the start.
Yeah.
Because like we're into 12. Hope you liked the new thumbnail on the YouTube video, guys.
I saw.
I thought I'd try something. You got a higher click-through rate than usual.
Really?
Yes, which was nice. We're experimenting, trying to make it a bit more artsy. Maybe I don't know. I got bored of it after 10, so I was like, "We're graphic designers.
It's okay.
We can redesign them without consulting Kel because I'm crazy." Whatever.
Yeah, we're graphic
Thanks, guys.
designers.
Show me a hard
See you
time,
next
everyone.
week, guys. Goodbye.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Bye.